Miami Dolphins' Week 1 debacle against the Indianapolis Colts wasn't just a loss. It was a glaring, painful revelation that has seemingly pushed the franchise to a critical crossroads. After a performance that looked anything but professional, the spotlight isn't just on Tua Tagovailoa anymore, it's shining brightly on Tyreek Hill. And the uncomfortable truth about his trade value is now impossible for the Dolphins to ignore. The whispers that began in the offseason, the reports of other NFL teams monitoring Tyreek Hill's situation, have now escalated into a full-blown roar after Sunday's abysmal showing, where the cheetah was largely neutralized and his frustration visibly boiled over on the sidelines. The call for Dolphins owner Stephen Ross to intervene and instruct general manager Chris Grier to move on from Hill is growing louder and more urgent. This isn't about questioning Hill's talent. He remains one of the most electric and game-changing wide receivers in the NFL. But the cold, hard reality for the Dolphins is that their window of opportunity, at least with this current iteration of the team, appears to be rapidly closing. Sunday's game was a stark indicator that Miami is not a legitimate contender, and if that's the case, holding on to a high-priced, aging superstar like Hill makes less and less sense. It's time for the Dolphins to make tough decisions and seriously consider trading their star wideout. The argument for trading Tyreek Hill now, rather than later, is compelling. Opposing teams seem to have figured out Mike McDaniel's offensive system, and the fear factor that Hill once brought is diminishing because defenses are pressing him at the line. Without other consistent threats to stretch the field, Miami's offense becomes predictable. Tua Tagovailoa's effectiveness relies on quick throws, and if Hill is taken out of the play at the snap, the entire rhythm of the offense is disrupted. Wow. Trading a player of Hill's caliber would be a monumental task. The market for his services could still be robust. The article points to the Kansas City Chiefs as a natural speculative destination, especially after the unfortunate injury to one of their key receivers, Xavier Worthy, on Friday night. The idea of Hill reuniting with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce for a last-dance Super Bowl run is a narrative that would captivate the entire league. Beyond the Chiefs, any team in desperate need of an explosive playmaker to ignite their offense would undoubtedly be interested if the Dolphins make him available. Hill still has plenty to offer a team that is genuinely in contention. However, for Miami, the focus needs to shift beyond just this year and potentially even next. The article highlights a crucial financial turning point in 2027, when the Dolphins can finally move on from Tua Tagovailoa's contract with less financial penalty. By that time, Hill, who will be 33, is unlikely to still be on the roster, as his current contract runs through 2026. This means the Dolphins need to start thinking about a more comprehensive rebuild and acquiring valuable draft capital or younger talent for Hill now could accelerate that process. The visible frustration from Hill on the sidelines during Sunday's first half was a clear sign of things to come if the Dolphins continue to lose. A player of his competitive nature, who has experienced Super Bowl glory, will not tolerate being part of a losing team for long. His discontent will only fester with more defeats, potentially creating further locker room issues. The time for waiting, for hoping things will turn around, seems to be over. The article argues that there's no reason to delay until the trade deadline. The Dolphins' disastrous Week 1 performance has laid bare the team's vulnerabilities and the precariousness of their current situation, making a bold move like trading Tyreek Hill now could be a painful but necessary step towards a more stable and ultimately more successful future for the Miami Dolphins. What are your thoughts, Dolphins fans? Is it time to face the music and trade Tyreek Hill? Or should the team hold on to its superstar and try to salvage this season? Share your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth NFL analysis.